are you? Are you well? Just excuse me for a minute while I just try and see what I'm doing here. Doesn't seem to be coming through. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Sorry. Yes, great. I can see the I can see the comments. Hi Marnie, I am glad you're very well. But let me start again. How are you? Are you well? I hope you are well. It's alright if you're not, but I hope you are. Okay, so if you're on Facebook, sorry, I haven't figured out how to see the comments there yet, but hi and welcome. So, what are we doing here? What are we doing here in life? Right, time for a bit of meditation. That's what we're doing. I meditate throughout the day, and this is just the one I do on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Today is one of the days that I work with people one-on-one, so I pretty much spent the whole day meditating. So this isn't a class, it's just a chance to meditate together. If you are familiar with meditation, that's great. If you could just hang on for a minute though, because I'd just like to explain what I do just for the benefit of people who are new to meditation, because there's the people who join the live, join us live here, but then there's a lot of people who watch the videos afterwards. So there's lots of different styles of meditation. This is just what I do. And for me, it sort of has to start with why I would meditate. I'm trying to connect with a part of me that I connect to every night. I just don't do it consciously. It's the part of me that, when I go to sleep and then I'm dreaming and then I drop out the bottom of dreaming into deep dreamless sleep. And that's the place I'm curious about, because in that place I've got no memory of being there. I've got no thoughts when I'm there that I remember. I've got no body. I sort of cease to exist in the way that I normally register my existence. I mean, that sounds terrible. That sounds like death. And yet I love going to sleep. And when I wake up in the morning, I feel refreshed. So, what's going on there? That's pretty remarkable. So that's the place I want to connect to when I'm meditating. I just want to do it consciously. And as I say, there are no thoughts there. So I need to find a way to get beyond the thoughts in the same way I do when I'm asleep, but still remain conscious. So I have to kind of, think of it as parting the curtains of my mind to get to this place. So I make a little deal with my mind. I say, look, do you mind if we just not think for the next 15 minutes? Because I want to do some meditation. And my mind is like, yeah, great. I love the idea of meditation. I've read lots about it. I've got lots of concepts about it. I've got lots of ideas about it. Definitely. So that's good. And then to stop thinking is relatively easy. It's easy to stop. Because thoughts, regardless of what triggers the thought itself is just made of pictures and sound. So if I turn off the pictures and I turn off the sound, I'm not thinking. And then once that starts, I'm into the practice of meditation. Now, what I was saying about where I want to go with the meditation, I want to connect with this deep, mysterious place, possibly eternal. That's my intention. And that's what you read about a lot. The practice of meditation runs parallel with that. And the practice of meditation is, as I say, stopping thinking. So I turn off the pictures, I turn off the sound. A little bit of time passes. I discover that I'm thinking again. So I turn off the pictures and I turn off the sound. I bring myself back to not thinking. And then a little bit of time passes and then I discover that I'm thinking again. And then I turn off the pictures and I turn off the sound. I bring myself back to not thinking. And that's the practice of meditation. Continually bringing myself back to not thinking. Whenever I discover that I'm thinking, I just keep bringing myself back to not thinking. Over and over, as many times as I need to. And I don't add to my thinking by getting irritated that I keep thinking. because that's part of the practice. So a lot of people say to me things like, oh no, I tried meditation, oh it's not really for me, my mind is just too busy, or words to that effect, which is sad because no one's mind is any more busy than anybody else's. It's just not understanding about how these two seemingly opposing things go together. So if you've got the idea that meditation is about being calm and blissful and peaceful, and every kind of meme or thing you've seen of somebody meditating and they're all serene, yeah, just forget about that. Because inside, the practice is, you might look like that on the outside, but inside what's going on is the person is bringing themselves back to not thinking over and over again. If they're meditating like me, that's what I'll be doing. In this next 15 minutes, when we get into it, I'll probably have to bring my mind back many, many times, 100 times, 200 times. I don't care, it doesn't matter. I don't think about it. It's just every time I discover that I'm thinking, I bring myself back. So if you do that, if you find you're doing that a lot, it's grand. You're doing great. Now, while I'm doing all of that, I'm also letting go of any tension that I find in my body. And I have a system for that because it's too sort of vague and soupy in there when I have my eyes closed. I need a system. So I scan my body from my head down to my feet and back up again. And anywhere I find tension, I let it go. And I use my out breath to let it go, which is a great way to remember to breathe, because it's easy to forget to breathe or to hold your breath during meditation. I know that sounds crazy, but it's a thing. And it's also a natural way of, find tension, let it go. So that's good. When I'm scanning my body, I'm paying particular attention to any of the structures that go across my body. Mostly my body runs from my head to my feet, but anywhere that goes across my body you can think of it like a little bit like a log in a stream, crossing a stream. It just has a tendency to accumulate twigs and branches and all that kind of stuff that comes down the stream. Similarly, any structures that go across my body has a tendency to accumulate tension or stress. So as I'm going along, I'm checking my eyes particularly, checking my mouth, my tongue, my jaw, the base of my neck, my shoulder girdle, all my joints, so my shoulders, my elbows, my wrists, my fingers, they're all going across, my heart area, my respiratory diaphragm, my intestines, my pelvic floor, my hips, my knees, and my ankles and my toes. Again, if you're new to meditation, I encourage you to sit up when you're meditating. Don't try and do it sitting down. It's way too hard. Your body will just go, oh, I'm lying down, my eyes are closed, well, it must be time for sleep. So you'll either fall asleep. There's nothing wrong with falling asleep, but we're connecting with this part of ourselves consciously, not unconsciously, and that's what happens in sleep. You go there unconsciously. So you're kind of missing the point. And if you don't fall asleep, you just end up battling sleep, which is very difficult. So yeah, sit up. You don't have to sit up in any special position. I just sit on a chair. If you'd like to sit in a lotus position, beautiful, go ahead, do that. Doesn't matter, but mostly sit up so that you're not going to fall asleep. If you have a nice quiet room, that's very helpful, because one of the things that triggers thoughts are little noises that you hear when your eyes, because as soon as you close your eyes, you're hearing like you can hear things like you wouldn't have heard before when your eyes are open, because as you close down one sense, the other senses heighten. So yeah, quiet room that you're not disturbed in, that's very helpful too. I set a timer for how long I'm going to meditate, and that's again just to help my mind have less things to think about, because if I didn't set a timer, I would be going, how long have I gone? Should I check my watch? So I'm going to set my timer for 15 minutes, but if you're new to meditation, set it for a bit shorter, because 15 minutes, I know this kind of sounds crazy as well, but 15 minutes is a long time if you're not used to it. So yeah, set it for maybe 5 minutes, and then just repeat that 3 times. Okay, so I can see if there are any questions. No, there are no questions. If you're asking me a question on Facebook, sorry, maybe by tomorrow I'll have that bit figured out. And you can always leave questions in the comments, and I'll address them the next day as well, whether you're watching the video afterwards or not. Okay, So off we go into the mystery. Okay, that's time. So if you feel like you've gone very deep into yourself, then come back from there before you open your eyes. Or if you're able to hold the inner depth and the outer presence at the same time, then just open your eyes. Okay. Marnie says, you and your one-man IT department are doing great. That's great. Thanks, Marnie. Every bit of encouragement. Is the sound okay? Alright, so that's it for the meditation. Thanks for meditating with me. I'll see you tomorrow for some more meditation, or just remind you about the Zoom group. If you want to come to the Zoom group tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Irish time, get in touch, and I will send you the Zoom link. And if your sound is perfect, brilliant. Thanks, Marnie. Yeah, I'll send it to you. Send you the link for the Zoom group. If you're not sure what the Zoom group is, have a look at some of the other videos below and above. They're all from the Zoom group, the questions that have come up on the Zoom group. It's basically to do with consciousness, inner growth, all the changes that are going on at the moment. Yeah, okay, so I'll see you at the Zoom group, or I'll see you for some more meditation tomorrow. Bye.